Hello YouTube and welcome back for another TikTok requested Cricut tutorial video. So not too long ago I released a video making this plate for Mother's Day and got asked several times, how did you do that? Can you please make a tutorial? So I will have a very quick 60-second tutorial on TikTok, but this tutorial here will go more into designing it and putting it all together. It will cover all of it. So if you're interested, stay tuned.
The first thing that I do in Design Space is add the word mom, and I change the font to Times New Roman. You can use whatever font you want. This is just the one that I choose. And then I'm going to add another text box and type the names that I'm going to be using. For the names, I use the font I Love Glitter. I got that font off of defont.com, and it does come with the special characters. To find those, I just typed character map in my computer search bar, and once that window pops up, just be sure the font selected on your character map matches the font that you are using. Now, to pick which characters to add, just select them on that window, hit select at the bottom, copy, back in Design Space, just paste it into your text box. But be sure to paste it where you want that extra character to go. And then it will just be a part of your text. So next thing I do is reduce my letter spacing to get the letters as close as I can. But then I ungroup them and individually move the letters to get them closer. Just to double check, I do resize my font or zoom in, either way, just to make sure that they are lined up exactly the way I want. Once I have them done, I go ahead and select all of my letters and weld them together. The next thing I'm going to do is add an offset. For this kind of image, I used 0.11 size for my offset. That is the smallest size I could get with offsetting all of my letters. Then I'm just going to move the mom text behind the text and the offset. Select all three, align and center them. And then I'm going to move my names out of the way so that I can select the mom and the offset and slice the two of them. After they've been sliced, I'm going to go ahead and delete all of the middle parts. You don't need any of them because you want that space to be empty so you can move your names down and they'll fill that gap. Select both, align, and center them. Once it's finished, I select both and weld them together just so they are one image. Now I'm going to add another text box so that I can add the quote that my cousin wanted on her Mother's Day plate. You can add a quote, you can add a little letter. Mine was a little kind of letter quote thing that I wrote to my mom personally. My cousin just found this cute quote that she wanted on her plate. So, measuring the plate. This is just going to depend on the vision that you have for the plate. I wanted all of my text to sit in the bottom of the plate and have the pictures on the side of the plate. So, after measuring, I hide my text and add 2 squares. The first one is the size of the plate, overall the full size. The one in the middle, this yellow one, is just the size of the bottom. So that's the area that I want all of my text to fit into. So to make sure everything's good, I selected both squares, aligned them, and centered them together. Then I'm going to start bringing my text back. So the first thing I brought back was mom. I'm going to resize it and center it horizontally on my yellow rectangle. Bring my quote back, resize it, align and center it horizontally. Once I like it, I'm going to group my quote and my mom text together. Once I have that all set, I'm going to go ahead and start uploading the images that I want to use for my cousin's picture. So because they are pictures, I choose complex, And then I only crop them down a little bit if they have extra stuff that just doesn't need to be included or to change the shape a little bit. So I uploaded and inserted all of my pictures. I did change the color of my rectangles, I don't know, so I could see them better. I sliced the two of them and deleted the middle so I only had that border so that I could rearrange my pictures and just kind of get an idea of what pictures I wanted where. Then I added another square. This square is going to represent the top panel of my plate. So I made sure that all of them were 1.5 inches tall, the gray box, and the pictures. Then I just aligned and centered my pictures and duplicated that because I needed the bottom as well. I only made that rectangle just for me visually to get an idea of what the pictures would look like if I rearranged them in that way. So making these new rectangles, it's a little redundant. I could have just done this from the get-go and then rearranged them. But I wanted to see how it would actually look if it was a full border. She wanted to add sunflowers as a little decoration between the pictures. So I just added a sunflower from Design Space and took one of the little strips. They kind of look like photo booth strips, really. Changed the background to white and made it print and cut. Because I am going to be printing these with my sublimation printer. Because the background's right, I had to change my matte color to blue, of course. Then I just added the sunflowers. No rhyme, no reason. Design your strips however you like. My plate from my mom had hearts on it instead of sunflowers. But my cousin wanted flowers, so that's what we added. Now, once all of these are finished, I do select the whole image, including the white rectangle, go to attach, and flatten. So the Cricut will only cut around the rectangles. Then I just went ahead and added everything so I could see what it looked like all together. Now, because my strips are bigger than 9.75, I used the snipping tool so that I could save an image of it to upload all of them into Microsoft Word. What I didn't realize either was this worked to my benefit because I was able to print all 4 of my picture strips on one piece of paper. I just rotated them all 90 degrees so they were going vertically instead of horizontally, made sure that they were indeed 1.5 inches, rearranged them on the paper, and printed them with my sublimation paper. Then I got everything ready for my words to cut in my black vinyl. So after I had my prints printed and my vinyl cut, I needed to cut the clear Oracal 651 because yes, I am going to sublimate my sublimation onto the Oracle 651. That's just how I have known to do this. So I made strips the exact size that my pictures were sized down to on Microsoft Word in Design Space and just cut those out. So then I will tape the sublimation prints to the Oracle 651. Now for the pressing, I had my press set at 350 and I pressed it for about 60 to 90 seconds. I just kind of check the pictures and just see how well they're coming through. I do 30 seconds at a time, and once they're good, I just pull it off hot peel. You don't have to let it cool. They turn out great. I've heard that there are some hazard concerns with it, but I haven't done any research, and this was before I was aware of it. So after weeding, I go ahead and do a quick wipe down of my plate with alcohol so that it's nice and clean. While that dries, I go ahead and get my text ready to transfer. Now, I could not use parchment paper for this, so I did go with the hinge method. And you can see I just put the text straight in the middle on the bottom of this plate. I did actually have a couple of letters that did not want to stick to the plate, so I had to kind of go back and put them on the plate individually, but it all worked out, turned out great. After I have the font down, I just start adding my picture strips to the sides of the plate. Now, the clear looks a little different after you've peeled it off the backing until you get it put on the plate, but once it's on the plate, oh my word, those look incredible. This plate came out so awesome. One of my best creations, I have to say, one of my best. But that's how I did it. I hope this helps, and I hope you enjoyed the video.